So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can link multiple lead sources to an AI appointment booking bot using ChatGPT and GoHighLevel. So if you're brand new to GoHighLevel and you have no idea what this is, you may want to refer back to my other video where I basically show you how to build this system from scratch. But if you've been following along with my work, you'll know exactly where we are. And what I want to do in this video is show you how can you link this system, which is this GoHighLevel booking bot, to missed call text back leads and Facebook lead form leads and live chat widget leads and form submissions, right? All these different types of lead sources that you guys are generating for your business or you guys are generating for your client's business. How do you actually automatically link those leads to this system so that this system will automatically qualify these leads and get them to book an appointment? Now, keep in mind, this is all based upon a prompt, right, which has been created within Zapier. Still don't know how to say it. Sounds weird every time I say it, but the prompt is curated in this specific example to basically qualify leads and get them to book an appointment, okay? So this specific video is going to show you if you're getting leads from other sources like missed call text back or Facebook lead form ads or live chat widgets or form submissions, and I'll probably freestyle a few after this. How do you actually automatically get those leads to basically go into this system without manually having to do it? Because a lot of people that either purchased this from me or built it themselves kept saying, you know, hey, I gotta manually add all of these leads to this system, and you know, it's great, but it's kind of annoying having to go in and manually add all of these leads to this system. It kind of defeats the purpose. And you know, that's true. I just thought that most people would know how to link you know, their lead sources to this system, but turns out some people needed some help with it. So I wanted to make this video to show you guys how you can do this, because if you're an agency working with, you know, clients and you're doing Facebook ads or Google ads or whatever, you know, you can basically link your services, right, your Facebook ad service to this system. Or if this is, you know, if you're a business owner and you're doing this for your business, you know, you can do this for whatever lead sources you're getting, okay? So once you kind of watch this full video, you should pretty much understand how this thing works and how you can link all your different types of lead sources to this system. So with that being said, let me give you a quick walkthrough of just, you know, how this thing really works. And then we're gonna build a few simple workflows like these, or to basically accomplish these. And that's it, and it'll work, okay? So with that being said, let's just go through the main things here within the system. So this I'll be building with you guys, so I'll delete this for now. But basically, the out the box, right, solution, or let me go back and make sure that this doesn't fully get deleted. This will need to come up here and you'll see why. But this is what you get out of the box if you bought it or if you built it off those first videos. This is what we create, right? And so the way that this works is you have a contact within GoHighLevel and you add this contact to this workflow. And what this starting workflow does is it removes the lead from all the other workflows, because we're about to get this AI appointment booking system to start having a conversation with this lead. And we don't want to have a bunch of other text and email automations going out, because it's going to take away from the main objective of what this bot can do. So the first thing is it removes the lead from all the workflows. That way, you know, the space has been set, everything's clear, everything's emptied out, and now, you know, the next few actions can happen without interfering with anything else. Okay. Then the next thing is it removes a tag, which is stop bot, because if the lead was previously in the bot, and then, you know, that lead, you turned on the stop bot for that lead, we want to make sure we remove that tag so that we can view, you know, if the bot is on for a lead, which is one simple tag, which is either if it's on stop bot, that means that the lead has been right through the bot, but the bot is not on for the lead. And then if the autopilot tag is on, that means the lead has been through the bot and it's actively on, okay? And so what happens is we add a contact, we remove that contact from all the workflows, and then we remove the stop bot tag. That way we know the active state that the lead is in. And then now we have the new autopilot tag, and then we update this contact field, okay? So this is kind of where you have to really understand how the system works. So why are we updating a contact field? Like, this may not make any sense to you. Well, we're updating this contact field with this custom values GPT message. So you may be wondering, what is that? So the way this system works, we have to skip ahead to the main other part of the system. These you don't really need to know right now, right? This just stops the bot, and this just stops the bot for everyone. So the main two things to understand are the start bot flow and then this. So why do we update this contact field, and what does it actually do? So when we update this contact field, what happens is this automatically actually triggers this GPT master plus AI booking bot workflow. Why? Because here in the trigger, we have a trigger created that says contact changed. And this is the name of the trigger, which says contact change. We can, change this to whatever we want, but it's just default named contact change. And so what does this actually mean? Well, if we look at this description of this, this particular trigger, it means this trigger will run when contact data is updated, but when contact data is updated. And so why would, this trigger this? Well, because when we start the bot for the lead, right, assuming you already understand these things, then we're going to update this contact field, right? And so when that contact field gets updated, that activates this trigger. And then we have an additional filter, which is this specific custom field called response GPT. And why do we have this filter here? Well, we have this filter here because if we delete this filter, that means no matter what data changes within the contact, the workflow will run, which we don't want. Because if you add a tag or you add, something else that's totally irrelevant to the bot, why would we want this thing to run? It has to be specifically linked to this system, right? So that's why we have an actual filter, which is response GPT, and then has changed. And the reason it's not has changed to is because we cannot predict what ChatGPT will send as a value. And just keep watching. You'll see as we go through all of it how this all clicks together. But the reason that it has changed is because if it was changed, that means it was just updated, right? If we put has changed to, we would have to define that value, which we wouldn't be able to do because ChatGPT is responding intelligently to all of the actual leads, which is the whole point. So that's why this says has changed. So when we save this, this is back how it originally was. So if we go back, we start this bot for the lead. We remove them from all the workflows. We remove the stop bot tag. We add the autopilot tag so we know what state that lead is in. Then we're updating this contact field to this custom values GPT message, which I'll explain in a second. But we're updating this custom field. When that custom field gets updated and has the proper filter, the lead goes down this path. And how do we make it go down this path? Well, because there's a condition here. So I went, clicked on the plus, typed in if, and there's this action called if else. And when you click on that, this is what gets created. And so what you'll see, it doesn't automatically get created, right? Let me just show you. So it'll ask you, hey, name this branch. And then based on what this is a branch right here. So based on what the branch is supposed to do, you would name it correctly. And then from here, you actually would choose how this branch is going to route this contact, right? So we could choose anything from within HighLevel that's obviously available to be selected here. So what I've done is I've made basically 2 branches, which is 1 customer replied and then 2 contact changed. And then this third one is default because it's basically, there has to be a none, which means that, if the contact does not match either of these conditions, there has to be something that happens, right? And so this just automatically gets created. You can't change the name for it. You can't even find it here. It just has to be that way because if something doesn't go this way, it has to go the other way, right? So when the contact gets changed and the filter specifically response GPT has changed, then what happens is the contact obviously goes down this path, and I've named this properly so that we can clearly see where it's going, right? If I change this name here, you'll see that's how this is, it's just named, right, that way. And so let's go down just straight through here. That way, once you understand how the system works, then you're going to see how you can literally make it your own. So when the condition is contact changed, right, which is straight down the middle, and by the way, where this is positioned has nothing to do with it going straight down the middle. This is just the order of when the triggers were created. So you could have a bunch of triggers. The condition runs based on what we select here. It has nothing to do with that. So if we go to contact change, you're going to see multiple segments that I've created, which number one, which is one of the most important ones, is workflow trigger, right? So these are the two triggers. So I'm telling this branch, hey, I want the only way that somebody goes down this path, right, when you're doing one layer at a time, is the workflow trigger is, and then I can choose from these two options because these are the only two triggers that are within this workflow. So of course, I'm going to select contact change because this, whatever happens after this branch, right, I want it to be dependent on this contact change trigger. That's the whole point, right? I'm just telling this, hey, if this happens, go here. If this happens, go here, right? And that's how the system works. So if we continue to go down here with the newest version of the system I've made, we have a following condition after that. So we have the condition that routes it into this branch, and we have the workflow trigger is contact changed. We also have the tag includes autopilot. That way we know that the bot is actually on for this lead, because if you, like I said, update that field on accident or whatever, and you don't mean to have the bot on, this tag will basically prevent, that from happening, because the only way this gets turned on is if you turn on the start bot, or you technically add this tag manually, right? Which is not how you use it though. So the workflow trigger is contact change, and the tag includes autopilot, and the tag does not include stop bot. And that just tells us, hey, the only reason that somebody needs to go down this path right now is because this specific filter was changed, right? And because this workflow trigger has been selected, that filter is already built into the trigger. And so then it goes into this, contact change branch, and then we have an additional condition, right? And now this is, how the system became more advanced, which is the response GPT contains gimme, right? So I'll explain that in a second. And the last appointment is empty. So if a contact matches these two segments, the lead will go through, or the contact will go down this path, which is basically to get them to book an appointment, because within the ChatGPT prompt, we've instructed ChatGPT to use this keyword after the lead has been qualified and is interested in booking an appointment. And so when this keyword fires and they don't have an appointment already booked, which means the last appointment would be empty, then they can successfully go down this path, right? Which is where the booking bot attempts to get them to book a call. If they do not match this condition, it means that, hey, we're only explicitly using this keyword when the lead has been qualified and when they're interested in booking an appointment. So because they don't match that condition, we just want the system to SMS the lead normally, right? And then this SMS actually pulls the field from the contact custom fields, right? Which is the GPT response, which I'm not sure why I can't find it right now. Our response GPT, okay? And so it's just pulling this field, right, from what was updated on step 1. So we're never even typing the message, and ChatGPT is never actually inserting it into the SMS. It's only activating as a result of this field being updated, okay? And so I have to lay all that context down, because then you'll easily understand how to link other lead sources to this, because really, the way that this update contact field works when it starts is we have to program an initial message, right, to trigger this to do the actual SMS. That way we know, right, that way ChatGPT knows, hey, like, I'm in this conversation now, right? If you start talking to the lead, right, every message that you actually type into the SMS chat does not get stored inside of ChatGPT, and thus it loses context, right? When you pass the data through this field, that's how ChatGPT knows the entire history of the conversation. That's the whole value proposition of this system, is that it's not just this, one by one message prompt generator. It's actually in conversation with that lead. And I'll show you what I mean. So this is inside of the Zap, which makes this entire system work, okay? And so what happens when it comes to the history content is basically when a lead responds, right, after they, ignore this for a second, right? This, everything from like, I was going to use my hand, but from this to the right of the mouse, like everything over here is just done. This is only an action when, GPT sends an actual response. When the customer responds, this triggers the webhook, okay? And then that webhook comes over here. And then what we actually do is we literally do what's called catch a hook. And really all that's doing is giving us data from GoHighLevel. And so when we go into this next step of the zap and we go into the action, we are choosing the data from this catch hook, okay? And that's basically how this entire thing works. Is this how we get the data and send it to ChatGPT? So if we see, we have the user message. So this was the most recent message that the ChatGPT assistant is responding to. And the message body is pulling from when the customer replies, right, via SMS and has the right tags. And that's basically pushing over here. And then we're snagging that data and telling ChatGPT, hey, this is what this person said. And this is what, this is what this person's name even is, right? And we're pulling that from the GoHighLevel data fields. And then from there, we're naming the GPT assistant, which is, not data we necessarily need from HighLevel, because we could name the GPT assistant whatever we want. And then we pass it through this prompt, which is basically like the brains behind how this conversation works, right? And so once you kind of understand how this thing really works, then it's not too difficult to basically link additional lead sources to this system, because all you have to do is understand that the contact change field for this particular custom field is really what activates the first message to get sent, so that ChatGPT has what's called history content. So if we look right here, we wouldn't put this data here because ChatGPT doesn't actually need it. But if we go down to the next step, we can basically pull data from the previous step. So if I just go here to like notes, for example, we can see this, what this Zap basically stores, or this Zap step stores automatically. History content. Hello, how can I help you? If you have any questions, right? These are all of the, this is all the history content from the conversation. And so it stores that. We don't even need to tell HighLevel what it is, because this is the brain behind the whole operation. And so the reason that we have to update this contact custom field is because that triggers, right, ChatGPT to know, oh, now the conversation has started, and then the bot gets going. And so once you get that, all you really need to understand is that you just simply need to have custom values for the initial messages from where the leads are sourced. So keep following along if it hasn't fully clicked in yet. So the number one example we'll do is when a lead, right, calls this GoHighLevel sub account, and this GoHighLevel sub account misses the call, right? This is known, like out of the box, as the missed call text back. So this is known out of the box as this missed call text back. And so basically for this particular example, we're actually going to turn this off, and you'll see why in just a second. So now we're going to go back to the automation, and I'm going to show you how this thing works. So when we add a new workflow, we're going to add a new workflow that basically when there is a missed call by this sub account, we want that system to automatically start this bot so that it can follow up with that lead and get them to book an appointment. And I'll cover towards the end potentially having different prompts and different bots and different brains for different actions, okay? So it gets a little advanced, but this is really the future. I'm kind of limited by what the technology allows me to do right now. If it was all there and able to, it is able to be done. If it was able to be done in a more simple way, I think everyone would literally be doing it, because this is really going to become the hub of people's businesses. You're going to have a support bot, booking bots, follow-up bots. You're going to have all kinds of different ones, and they're going to be really good. And they're going to be able to, have access to your actual business data, understand context, understand, everything, right? So, this is just a sliver. This is barely anything of what it's going to be, because imagine all that history content I showed you. Imagine if for the last 20 years of your business, or 10 years, 5 years, however long ago you started your business, imagine all that history content for every lead ever was stored inside of ChatGPT or some sort of AI system. It would know exactly, how to communicate with that lead, when that lead last contacted us, what they're inquiring about, everything, right? That's the whole missing piece to the equation, is like, how do you feed this thing more data so that it has better context on how to facilitate the conversation? That's all it is, right? The function is there. I'm already doing it with this, right? It's more about passing the data and organizing and routing these leads to the right place so that the bot behaves exactly how you want it to. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the missed call text back, and this should click everything into place. So we're going to start from scratch, because these are going to be dead simple workflows. So I'm going to just call this number 6, because the last one is 5. So I'm going to do missed call, and then I'm going to do an arrow that says start bot. All right. And this is so simple. So all we're going to do, first of all, this is kind of like a high level setting, not like GoHighLevel, like a higher level setting you would maybe want to think about. But if leads call you twice, do you want this to happen multiple times? So you could turn that on or off. I would leave it off, just because once they're in the bot, they're going to be in that like brain basically. So if we click on add new workflow trigger, we're just going to type call status, and we're basically manually triggering the missed call text back feature. So the first thing is the call direction needs to be incoming. That means that, hey, this lead just called us, right? That's all we've told it so far. So we need to tell it this lead called us and we missed it. So we're going to choose call status is busy, canceled, no answer, or voicemail, right? This lead called us. The call status was busy, canceled, voicemail, or no answer. This is missed call text back. So this is the trigger. And now all we're going to do is we're first going to add a tag, and you'll see why. And this tag I've already created, but it's called missed call bot. And you'll see why you have to have this or something similar. But we're going to add a tag, right? Because this specific workflow is for the missed call feature, right? So we're adding this tag. And then from there, we are going to type in, or we're just looking for start workflow or add to workflow. And then we're just going to add the contact to this start bot workflow. And I mean, that's the initial part of it, right? And then if you want it to behave specifically, right, based on this action, or this trigger, we need to create a custom value over here. So inside of the custom values, you'll see I've created these additional ones compared to the one that I made originally, that you guys are used to, which is GPT missed call message, and then GPT Facebook ads message. So once I show you how this works, and then I show you the Facebook ads, you should get it from that point. So basically, what I've done is I've programmed a specific message for the missed call text back to be linked to ChatGPT. So, hi, we just missed your call. Are you free for a call back now, or can I text you, right? This is just whatever, I just made it up. It's not like I'm saying this is the message to send. This is just so that when this missed call actually comes in, the first message we send to that lead is relevant to what they just did. That's why we have to have different custom values and the tag, because if not, it's just going to send this one. So if you want to have multiple sources at once, which is really the future, you're going to need to have that initial message be relevant to what that person inquired about, right? So when they do a missed call, it says, hey, we missed your call. When they do a Facebook ad, it says, hey, thanks for filling out our Facebook ad, right? So what we're going to do is go back to ChatGPT, and then we're going to go to this start bot flow, because we already created this trigger. So when the call status is incoming, the call status is either busy, canceled, voicemail, or no answer. We're going to add this tag, which is missed call bot. And then from there, we are going to add this lead to this start bot workflow. But there's one next step, which is we need to create a filter so that we update the proper contact, or the contact field will stay the same, but we need to update with the proper custom value based on where this lead came from. So what we're going to do is another branch, which is if else, and then we're just going to do missed call bot. And then what we're going to do is we are going to choose this tag missed call, includes missed call bot. And why are we doing that? Because when the incoming call comes through the system, it's canceled, busy, no show, or whatever those filters were, then we added that tag. So that's the only time this tag is going to basically go on. And keep in mind, everything I'm showing you would automatically start this system. So this is why I didn't build it into the product, because some people, it would be too much for them to know how to build this or, manage it. So we have this missed call bot, right? And so we have this branch for the missed call bot. So what we need to do is move this original one over here, because this is basically just the general GPT message, right? If you're starting it manually. If you want to basically, have this missed call bot be specific, that specific first message, we're going to go to update contact field. We're going to do the same one as this, but now we're going to do custom, or it was called, or this field is going to stay the same, and then we're going to pull this custom values to be the missed call message. So, right, where is it? Missed call message. Boom, save that action. So now what happens, okay, is there's a missed call by this sub account, right? It's an incoming call. The call status is busy, canceled, voicemail, or no answer. And then it adds a tag that says missed call bot, and then it starts the workflow. When that workflow starts, it does what it normally does. And then from here, it runs this condition to route the lead based on, that tag. So then it's going to send this missed call bot message, right? Which is like, hey, we just missed your call, whatever I wrote back there. And then from there, because we updated this contact field, that's going to automatically trigger this, right? Contact changed. Remember, it's has changed, so it's not has changed to. So because it has changed, it's going to fire regardless. Then it's going to send that first text. Then when the customer replies, it's going to already be linked to the bot because it's already came through this initial trigger. So that's one way to do it. And then from here, let's say you have another lead source like a Facebook lead form ad. So we'll just do 7 here, Facebook lead form, and then same thing, start bot. Boom, save, turn this thing on, make sure it's on, and then we're going to do Facebook lead form is submitted. You can choose specific lead forms from here, right? Or you can just leave it as this, which is going to be all the leads that get filled out by the Facebook lead form, or all of the lead, it would just capture all of the leads from all of the forms. So we've got the trigger, and then same thing. We're going to add our tag, which is, in this case, Facebook ads bot. Boom. Save the action, save. Okay? And then from here, we're going to do a plus, and then we're going to do the start or add to workflow, and then it's going to do the start bot. Boom. That's how everything is now linked. Facebook lead form gets submitted, add the proper tag. That way we can go and adjust, the workflow one to pick up on this tag. And then same thing. Start the bot. We add another branch here, which is going to be Facebook ads bot. And then we're going to do contact details, tags, and then we're going to do includes Facebook ads bot. Boom. And then what's going to happen, and if depending on if you're doing this for different things, you may want to potentially exclude other tags, right? That's why, like I said, I don't add these into the product necessarily, because you kind of have to know what you're doing for this all to be successful. But I did get quite a few people ask me about this, so that's why I'm making this. So if you go back here, we're just going to add this update field, and then we're going to do the GPT, the same field, like I said. And then from here, we are going to pull the custom values for the GPT Facebook message. Boom. And then now what will happen is when a Facebook lead form gets submitted, it's automatically going to start the bot, okay? And it's going to start the bot on the right foot, because this message here is specific to the Facebook ads, okay? So that's layer one of like where this stuff's going. So now let me do the live chat and then form submissions. So same exact process, which I haven't done the custom values for yet, so you'll get to see that. So same thing. I'm going to make a new workflow from scratch. We're going to do live chat, widget, start, bot. Boom. Save, add new workflow trigger. This is going to be a customer reply trigger, and then we're going to do reply channel is chat widget, okay? And then from there, just save that, same thing. So I would just make a new tag since I haven't done this one already. So I would make a new tag, and I can call this chat widget bot. Boom, boom. And then all I'm going to do is add to workflow. And then I have to make the custom field, or excuse me, the custom value message, and then, relink things in step 1. So I go back here, go to custom values, and then I'm going to go to new custom value and just, copy the same messaging. So I'm going to do GPT chat widget message, and then I'm going to just say, hi, we saw you submit a live chat on our website. Are you free for a quick call? Boom. And then obviously I'm just writing it explicitly so you understand it. You would need to curate those to be, like good for your actual niche and use case. And like I said, I'm showing you this because I truly believe this will be the future. I think right now it's a little bit, trust me, if I could just stitch it into one little thing, I would, but this is kind of the way it has to be done right now with minimal, this is as minimal complexity as I could think of if you do have a bunch of different sources that are routing into high level. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add another branch, which is for the chat widget. So we're going to do chat widget bot, and we're going to do tags, and then we're going to do includes, and then we're going to do chat widget bot. Same thing. Oops, it moved it over here. I shouldn't have done that because there's no way, or wait, what happened? Oh, it went, hold on, contact field. Okay, wait, I don't know what just happened. Let me move this over here. Yeah, so save. Okay, so chat widget bot. Okay, cool. Oh, I think I thought I was on the other step, but I wasn't. Okay, so update contact field, and then we're gonna do the GPT field, same thing, and then we are going to pull the chat widget GPT message. There we go, boom. So now what we've done so far is when a lead calls us and we miss that call, it's going to automatically update that contact field to say, hey, we missed your call, boom. That already automatically triggers the bot. If the person responds via text, that'll trigger, right, the GPT to handle the conversation from there. Same thing, boom, they fill out a Facebook ad. All right, it goes into, it adds the tag, it adds them to this workflow, and then it sends a message, hey, you just filled out our Facebook ad, boom. That automatically keeps that lead in the GPT master. Same thing, chat widget bot. Okay, they fill out a chat widget, updates the tag, so it says chat widget bot, adds them to this workflow, routes them down here, and then it says, hey, you just filled out the chat widget. Boom. So now everything's like getting tuned. We have one more thing I'm going to do, which is the form submissions, but same exact logic. So we're just going to do form, or I think that was number 9. So form submitted, and then start bot, boom. Save, and then form, and then we're going to do form is. So if we do form is, we need to choose a specific form. If we want all forms, we're just going to delete it, and then we're going to save it, right? And that'll catch this trigger will run on all form submissions. Then same thing, we're going to add a contact tag, and then we are going to do, it's glitching out or taking a second to load, so add contact tag. Come on, there we go. So we're going to do form bot. You could do maybe form submitted. That way, form submitted bot. That's going to save, and then same thing. Add to, I don't know why it's not pulling out. Okay, add to workflow, start bot, save, boom. Now, since I haven't created that custom value message, I'm going to basically go back here, custom values, and then I'm going to do GPT form submitted message. Hi, you just filled out our form. Are you free to chat? Okay. And this is just so you guys understand like what we're doing. And if you really think about it, I'm just programming AI and software to do what humans should do, right? Which is like, hey, you just filled out a form, right? And this form was about this, right? You just filled out a live chat and this was about this, right? So it does in a way seem kind of complicated, but realistically, this is what we do as humans either way. If we're good at what we do, it's like you submitted this, I'm going to reach out to you about this, right? We wouldn't want like somebody to submit a form about a free quote for solar, for example, and then reach out to those people and say, hey, how are you? It's like we would want to say, hey, John, you submitted a free solar quote request on our website, regarding, this specific, promotion we have or whatever, right? The more specific the inquiry is and the responses to the inquiry, the more somebody has resonance with like, oh, that's what I did. So that's why we're creating these routing automations so that if you do have multiple sources, that it doesn't just go to the general GPT message, because what I'll show you after I finish this is going to be kind of what I think is the future of it. It's just more of a matter of like having somebody on your team that can, build it or manage it or whatever, right? So the last thing we're going to do, or wait, I already did that. So we're going to go to number 1 here, and then we're just going to add in the other branch, which is the form submitted bot. So form submitted bot, and then we're going to do contact details, tags, includes, and then form submitted bot. That's going to create another branch, and then we are going to add the update contact field. We are going to do the GPT field, and then we're going to pull the custom value from the form submitted bot or form submitted message. Boom. And now what we've done is we have 4 new triggers. So when there's a missed call, it's automatically going to start the bot on the right foot with the right message that you can customize. You could change all that back there. We have the Facebook lead form bot on the right foot. They fill out a Facebook form, boom, it sends the right Facebook lead form, right? And then from there, live chat widget starts that bot, right? Now, before I get, before I show what I'm going to show next, I had to do this so you could see that, right? Now, what I just showed you is assuming that all of these leads have the same way that they should be handled, which is based on this prompt here, right? That's in here. Like, it's all based on this prompt, and it's all based on the appointment booking, right? But the future, right, of what this is going to be, and I'm going to simplify it. I'm not going to build it fully to be set up and run. I just want to show it conceptually. This is what I believe is going to happen. So you're going to have basically, and like I said, the way I'm showing you is not how you would actually need to build it. I'm just showing you so that you can conceptually kind of see it, right? So I'm going to get all this out of the way, okay, which is basically the contact changed. So we're going to move this up here and then just delete all this. That way everything's nice and simple. Once again, this is not how you would build it, okay? So let's just keep this real simple and ignore the other parts of the system, okay? So let's just say I'm going to name this customer replied via SMS sales bot, okay? So let me add this. I'm going to add another trigger here so you can just simply see the point here. So we're going to do another filter, which is channel. And let's just do, for now, chat widget. So customer replied via chat widget support bot. Okay, so these are like your AI people. So if you know what I'm doing already, then you'll know what I'm kind of doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this, because this is what I believe is happening, and you can do it now. It's just like I said, you need somebody pretty advanced to manage it and just monitor it and do it well. But basically, we're going to link this trigger to, doesn't really matter because it's more of the concept. So customer replied via SMS sales bot. So what I believe will happen, and more when I say happen, it's more that will be easily and readily accessible with very little complexity. Not that it won't happen, because like I said, you can already do this right now. I'm kind of doing it, this just isn't fully it. So what you're going to have is you're going to have the ability to do this, which is you're going to have different behaviors, right, based on real life customer actions. So what I mean by this is, let me put this last brick down, that way you understand it. So copy this over here. Okay, so let me name these differently too. Or let's do it this way, sales. Okay, and then we're gonna have this. Okay, so when it comes to business, right, there's different there's different categories there's different components that make a business successful, right? And when you combine all of them together, right, that's what makes an overall successful business. So you need to be able to generate leads, you need to be able to follow up with leads, you need to be able to build a brand, you need to be able to have good customer support, you need to have good product, right? You need to have good internal communication, you need a strong team, right? There's different layers to business, right? And so what I think will just become easier is the ability to have AI be the persona for each of these categories and accomplish objectives for those categories. So real simple, right? Let's just break it down to sales and support bot. So let's just say somebody is not a customer, right? And they are interested in becoming a customer, they're interested in a product, whatever it is. So I believe in the future, this will just become so easy and simple that when a customer is in that stage, right, for this particular business, they're going to be talking to a sales bot prompt, right? Everything I built in this example and over here is assuming that all of these lead sources need to get routed to one primary prompt over here, which is basically this thing, right? But the reality is, there's going to be all kinds of different scenarios, right, where people are interested in this particular product. I mean, you could literally have an AI product specialist, right? You probably will have a team or a group of people that just build these AI bots for every little component of the company. Not every little, I should say, but like you could literally have a team of 1 to 3 people probably that are really, really good with this stuff. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be working on, the product number 1 bot. That way it gets better at handling objections, and that's what that specific AI bot does. And then when your customer interacts and is interested in there, we want to feed it data, right, to that specific AI. And same thing, if a customer needs a refund, if a customer needs support, they're going to go here, right? Just like when you go into a physical store, there's like the cashiers that, check you out for stuff you're buying. And then if you go to returns, you go to returns. And then there's people walking around the store that can show you where stuff is, right? There's people that clean, right? So this is all just manifesting digitally. And that's just what I believe. And I mean, I've been working with bots since like 2015, late 2015, early 2016. And I mean, you can go back and look on my Facebook and stuff. I was working with bots and building these things. So it's way better now. And ChatGPT only came out in around November or so. Obviously, it's been worked on for longer than that. But I say this because I just wanted to show you guys what I think is coming, which is, can you get this, can you basically program an AI to facilitate every component of your business via chat, right? So that if a customer needs support and needs to book an appointment with like a customer success manager, that just happens all automatically, right? So that the humans that are actually doing the support, the things that the AI will never be able to do, is automated, and they're not in there, okay, let me go get these people to show up to the appointment, right? So that's what I believe is coming. I don't quite know in what time horizon. I mean, it's moving fast for sure. Like I said, the technology is there because, I could build this right now, right? But there would have to be you'd have to have a really tight system for each of these components to do it well. And would have to think through a lot of things and stuff. But this is what I really think this is all leading to, which is Facebook leads get talked to, the Facebook leads bot that knows it's, coming from a Facebook ad. It knows what the ad says. I mean, it knows what it clicked on. It knows when it clicked on it. That's when this thing's going to take a life of its own, because that's really what makes kind of a successful business is like, hey, you inquired about this, or you need help on this, and I can actually help you, or I know who to direct you to, right? That's when the AI is going to get off the charts, because right now we're only kind of focused on the sales part, which is getting leads and following up with those leads, qualifying those leads, and that is a huge piece, right? But we're going to have AI for your entire back end as well. I know that to be true. So hopefully this helps you guys understand how to link these different lead sources to the booking bot, and maybe gives you some ideas for the future about how all this is going to work. So with that being said, if you guys want to join my free group, or the free group, I don't want to say it's mine, but this free group, you can join it. I just accepted 20 people this morning. And yeah, so if you want to join, it's totally free. And And yeah, that's it. All right, have a good one. Peace.